off. Today is day 357 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on briefly with our calculator. We are trying to do, well, I forget what we're trying to do. We are in the midst of juggling a couple short streams, mainly focused around the styling of our calculator, potentially adding in keyboard elements. I thought we might be able to do the keyboard elements tonight, but seeing the little progress we made on the styling front yesterday, I think we may actually continue down the styling path tonight. Oh, hey there, little kitty. How are you doing? Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah. Oh, let me type between your... Oh my god, you're hitting the spacebar and stuff. Dear god. Dear god. What are you... Oh, nope. Who are you? Who are you? You're a cat. You are a cat. I think we still need to open chat. That's what we need to do. Good, good, good. All right. We've got chat up. Let's, you know what? Let's do a brief rundown. Do we have everything we need? We've got webcam, golden. Mic audio, checkity check. Project, open in Chrome and in Atom. We've got little kitty. Yeah, look at you. Good job. And we're set. We're golden. So what do we want to do? We want to do that. Let's do adding. How difficult should it be for keyboard event listeners? We've got it down here somewhere. See, that's really just our event listener, and I think we can just pass the handle click. I think we can use the same handle click function. I'd hope so. But one would be for the keyboard, and the other would be for mouse clicks. JavaScript, keyboard. Event listener. Oh, look at that. MDN and MDN, so web APIs. Key down, key up, on key press for W3 schools. Maybe we should have all of those open. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into in a little bit of time. Dum dum diddy la da 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 diddy 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 la da 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 diddy 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 diddy. Keyboard events. Alright, so first things first. Keyboard event objects describe user interaction with keyboard. Each event describes a key. The event type, key down, key press, key up, identifies what kind of activity was performed. Whoa, 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 whoa. Are they telling me that they've broken down the activity of pushing the key down as one activity, like holding it down? I I assume key press is just the full motion down then up, and then key up is when a key is released, like if you were to hold it. Or am I totally reading into all of that incorrectly? Let's find out. Note, the keyboard event indicates just what's happening on a key. When you need to handle text input, use HTML5 input instead. For example, if user inputs text from handwriting system like tablet PC, key events may not be fired. Tricky. I feel like we're going to end up using both key event and input in tandem, but maybe my spidey senses are wrong. Methods. This interface also inherits methods of its parents. UI event and event. Keyboard event. Get modifier state returns a boolean indicating a modifier alt shift control or meta was pressed when the event was created. Keyboard event. Init key initializes a keyboard event object that has only been implemented by Gecko. Other used keyboard event init keyboard event should not be used anymore. The standard modern way is to use keyboard event constructor. Initializes blah 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 properties. Here's an example. Let's get to the example portion of this. When a key is auto-pressed and held down, it begins to auto-repeat. This results in a sequence of events similar to the following being dispatched. Key down, key press, repeating until user releases the key up. This is what the DOM level 3 specification says should happen. There are some caveats, however, as described below. In some GTK-based environments, auto-repeat is just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. No key press step. Gecko 5.0 with blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Script, use strict. Document.add event listener. Key down for some event. That's kind of like click or something. Key name is control. Do not alert only when... What other keys? Maybe I should have added in calculator to our... calculator. Calculator. jQuery. Use keyboard instead of mouse. Let me skim through these other ones really quickly. Keyboard event.key. Simple stuff. Examples. Window add event listener. Key down. Some function runs. If event default prevented. Return do nothing. Otherwise, event.key. So similar to event.target. Looks like we'd be using event.key. Maybe event.target would still work. Click case arrow down. Do something for down arrow key, arrow up, arrow left, right, enter, escape. Crap would be executed. Instead of setting up a case for all of those, again, we've got our one master handle click. That would be super awesome if we could just basically leverage the same damn thing instead of buttons event listener. You maybe change buttons to click EL or mouse EL, and we could do click EL, and then we could also set up a secondary whatchamacallit, keyboard event listener. Hey, can't stop farting. How you doing? Howdy to you. What did you make there? We've finally got our calculator functioning, and it works. We're out of the woods. We're sort of slow playing the styling as we've got a couple of shorter streams we're going to be doing over the next couple days as we try and make it through the holiday period. So yesterday we were tinkering we were tinkering with the calculator buttons, the styling of them, just coming to terms, shaking off some of the CSS rust, as we've been primarily focused on JavaScript for the better part of like 2 weeks now, and that just totally threw us for a loop. This calculator was so unbelievably daunting and unexpected. Yeah, this was a constant uphill battle, but we finally made it out of the woods. We've started chipping away at some of the basic CSS styling to turn it into something a little bit easier on the eyes, closer to this, or even this calculator example. But in the meantime, I was just trying to read up on one of the last main functional components that I'd like to add to our calculator is a keyboard event listener. So we've got the mouse click event listener set up, so I can use my mouse to manipulate, control, engage with the calculator. And that works great. But in the end, we'd really like to be able to add in some of the keyboard event listeners. So I'm trying to find the least impactful way, most efficient, if you will, to still leverage potentially the same handle click event, because it looks like, as we were perusing down here, event.key. I wonder if it has to be event.target, or if it can just... I think event.target focuses on what's selected. I think that's how that comes into play. So I think event.key will be needed. I was just trying to leverage the same... a lot of the stuff. I was seeing how much stuff I could reuse. Regardless, this should still probably be changed to mouse event listener, and then I can set up a keyboard event listener. So that's that. So just a little hunting. In the meantime, looking for a key listener for a game I'm developing in JavaScript. I have no idea how this would work in real code, but it would be something like this. If key press equals up key, player sprite x plus 10, else if down key, down 10, etc. Yeah, I searched up on Google, came up with things that involve Ajax, which I don't understand yet. Is there a function built in JavaScript that does this? Window. On key up. Wow, individual keys are already primed for the window. That's kind of cool. Function event. Variable key key code ternary. If this, then else that. If key equals 38 plus 10, blah blah blah, so forth. Can't stop farting, lol. I just made a calculator too. Awesome, but mine's in C++. Ah, very impressive. Yes, we've still eluded this. Any of the C languages and courses have eluded us on our year-long journey so far, but hopefully once we crack day 365, we can start to branch out into other things and revisit different languages that we haven't really gotten to fully explore yet on our 365-day journey. So we're hopeful to dive into Node.js, maybe some React, perhaps some Python, and eventually at some point some of the C languages. That would be very cool. So I'm hopeful that takes place in the upcoming year. Can't stop farting. It hasn't. If you know JavaScript, it's easy to learn C. Well, that's cool. Because JavaScript has been our sort of main, I think, the most reoccurring language that we've continued to juggle throughout this whole endeavor. Can't stop farting. Or, okay, it's easy to learn C or Java, C++, C Sharp, or Python. And then there's also Perl and Ruby. You know, I don't think there was a Perl course at Codecademy. There was Ruby. However, if I'm not mistaken, there is a difference between Ruby versus Ruby on Rails. Is that right? Is that a thing? I thought Ruby and Ruby on Rails was like one and the same, but I guess it's different. So there were the Codecademy courses on. I know for sure it was Ruby on Rails, but I thought they had just a generic Ruby course too. Ruby, just learn one well. Yes, that has been a strong theme and an element that has been hammered in as I've gone through the plethora of languages this year. I've seen a lot, and I wouldn't say learned a little, but I've mastered very little since I encountered so many different languages. But yeah, that point has been driven home very well. We've come to terms with that. Just master one, which is why we've tried to sort of focus on JavaScript, because out of all the sort of functional languages from the different sites, JavaScript was the one that kept reappearing the most. So we just kind of ran with that. But it's been good. I think it's I've found it entertaining. So anyways, just learn one really well. The rest will come easy. Assembly is easy to learn too. Ruby on Rails is a framework. It is made with Ruby, I think. Yeah, good choice. Can't stop farting. You can do a lot with JavaScript nowadays. It's been fascinating. Plenty of headaches, but plenty of fun. So we were looking at the following. Well, technically we were looking over here. You just jumped over to this. So, example, execute a JavaScript. That's weird. Weird formatting, at least in my opinion, for their phrasing. But execute JavaScript when a user presses a key. Input type text. They were mentioning input before if we needed the actual key itself. I think it was even here at MDN. It was one of those. Somewhere they'd referenced. Go ahead and use input. Input type text on key press my function. Definition usage on key press event occurs when the user presses a key on the keyboard. Tip: the order of events related to the on key press event. On key down, on key press, on key up. Note the on key event is not fired for all. Wait. The on key press event is not fired for all keys. Alt, Control, Shift, Escape in all browsers. To detect only whether the user has pressed a key, use the on key down event instead, because it works for all. Very cool. Okay, well, now currently it seems like everyone does handle the on-key press, but maybe we should go ahead and just do the on-key down to cover our bases. Add event, so in HTML, element on-key press, my script. On-key press function in JavaScript, object.onKeyPress function my script in JavaScript using the add event listener method, object add event listener key press my script. Maybe we should do that. You know, I'm not sure I'm going to sort out all of this today right now, but I think we should at least get the ball rolling. We can do keyboard event listener. And we'll change this to mouse event listener. This will be document get element by ID. We can still use crap, I don't know. We could use main, but in all the examples I've seen, it's just been on the window itself, like for the whole program. Using main before was handy because it was, for all of the given buttons, it was any click within the main window. It was also nice using main because we had broken up our clear function into a different portion than the rest of the buttons below. So we had them separated. So to cover all of the areas where buttons lived, we just set it up for listening for any clicks within main and then identifying the target that was clicked. Then we could look at the value of the target and the text content. But from here, with the keyboard, it's the specific value of the key, I think. So now I'm wondering if I need to add either additional stuff similar to value, all of the keys pressed, or if the key value itself carries over, like when I press the 6 key on my keyboard, or plus if it knows to do that. I'm trying to think on when one of the other things that I need to set up is using the enter key for the equals sign. Now we came close to having to set up an event listener before for the enter key in one of our past projects. The difference is that before having to set up an actual event, a keyboard event listener like this, explicitly tell it, hey, listen for a key press for the enter key, we ended up changing our, I think it was our HTML, which affected our JavaScript that we ended up implementing, but we ended up setting up a form element. And by default, I think it auto sets up the enter key to trigger a submit action when you have a form element in HTML. I'm pretty sure that was the issue, so I never needed to set up a keyboard event listener before. So we're kind of having to cross this bridge all over again since we backed away from it before. But we're gonna go ahead and just keep going down the path that we were headed, sort of monkey see, monkey do, and we might just do window instead. Document. That's not how you spell document. Document dot get. Wait, crap, it's get element by ID, right? Oh, I so hope it is. I think we're gonna go with window Yeah, we're going to go with window. And from here, this also needs to be mouse event listener. This will be keyboard event listener. Dot add event listener. I think key press is what was indicated. Was it singular? Pretty sure it's singular. I would find it weird if it was plural. Yeah, key press. And I would love to run the same handle click function since I'm not smart enough to figure out what else to do from here. This is just going to be a placeholder. Don't mind me. Okay. Wait, what's going down in chat? Do a lot with JavaScript, can't stop farting. Hard part about JavaScript is you also have to learn HTML and CSS. That's true. It's just part of the fun. I think it's a good evil, if you will. It adds, it forces you to have a broader scope or perspective when juggling JavaScript, having to piece all of this nonsense together. Hey, Cecil. How you doing? Oh, can't stop farting. You're thinking about, yes, I'm thinking about it too much, definitely. I've been overthinking everything for the last 357 days. Cecil, Nightbot lives. Does Nightbot live? Oh god, I hope not. Nightbot's still supposed to be banned. We'll tinker with the set. We're just riding out the storm. Again, we've got 357 days of momentum as we coast into day 365 as we finish out our year of streaming. Right now what's happening, this is like when the little shuttle capsule returns from space and it's just burning up through the atmosphere. That's me right now. It's just gravity's taken over and we're incinerating on impact as we just approach day 365 now that we're in the final countdown. So we're just clinging on in the meantime. Nothing's changing. No settings are going to be adjusted. It's just, this is it. We're riding out the storm. Let's see. So, yeah, Nightbot settings will be adjusted in less than 10 days. once we survive this freaking nightmare. Alright, so can't stop farting. The HTML uses JavaScript to manipulate the user input. The HTML uses JavaScript to manipulate the user input. Good. And the user experience overall. Can't stop farting. Good job, dude. Petey, hey, good to have you. Whole year. Oh, for the, yeah, well, thank you guys. 357 days down. Just trying to stay afloat in the meantime. So we were tinkering with the following. We were just going to do, as a quick placeholder, handle click, which really won't do exactly what we need. It will be freakishly similar, but instead of event target, it will be things like... There was another example, wasn't it? Event like this. Event something or other. Ah, here it is. Not event default prevented, but event.key. So I think a lot of this will basically just replace target for key. But we're gonna have handle click as the placeholder for now, true. And just let this chill. Okay. There's that. Let's go ahead and save. We were trying to do shorter streams just because of the holiday season, just juggling schedules and whatnot, so let me Let me go back to our hilarious calculator. I'm so glad it's functional. It took so long to at least get it working. Yeah, look at that. Plus this. Love it. Tell your friends. Divided by 3. Yeah, that's hot. Let's multiply it by like 24, because we can. Beautiful, beautiful. And clear works. Good times. Okay, so there's that. Don't mind me. PD light and stream feels good. McGreenberg, what is BDX anyways? Can't stop farting. Probably initials. Whew. Nail right on the head. Shot in midair. Yeah. Can't stop farting. Pulled that one real quick. PD, usually it's just your face emerging from the black void. Usually it's been very late. Again, there is normally... Little kitty? I didn't realize she was just so overly passed out on the side of the bed like that. Well, in addition to little kitty always napping in the darkness, usually somewhere in that vicinity, our missus is usually sleeping. She's had a recent change in her schedule. And then in addition to that, I've been trying to juggle my own schedule. Plus, it's the freaking holidays, so we've got Christmas Eve tomorrow and family events. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to do a morning stream tomorrow. Anyways, so I just come to terms with the reality of all this. So yeah, now the lights are on because, yeah, there's no person sleeping next to me currently. That's why the lights. Good times. What is happening? We're just trying to come to terms with everything for the code. But yes, McGreenberg, it was initials for the last name. It is a good place where we can type. Well, I guess over here would be fine. Ta-da! RDX. Wow, I can't even spell my own last name right now. There we go. See? Last name, Bordeaux. We just sort of cropped out the rest of the nonsense for BDX. And then it was a very generic BDX ink, because I didn't know what to do for the name of the stream. I didn't know if we were gonna stumble across or trip over a stump of intuition or a tree branch of epiphany and be like, hey, this is the moniker that we want to stream under. So I kind of went with a more generic one, something that could be easily updated, not a whole lot of like hard branding etched into it. So that seemed just generic enough. Blah, 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 underscore ink, where either the ink could change, the BDX could change, the whole thing could be updated. So yeah, that's why it's kind of plain and generic. Also, along the same lines of why I chose business administration as my, what's it called, major back in college. Just something really generic. Whether it's a flower shop or an auto shop, everything's a business. You know, just kind of dead and soulless and sort of vanilla. Anyways, what do we, more questions? Can't stop farting. Do you want to see my calculator? Sure, you can drop the link in. Nightbot's no longer here to yell at you, so drop as many links as you want. McGreenberg, like the chocolate? Yes, like the chocolate, and the city, and the wine, and the color, and any other associations you may have regarding Bordeaux. That is right. That is very accurate. Now, we were looking at stuff. I do think we are going to be trying to wrap up the stream in general. Don't mind me. You know what? Yeah, if you've got your link, we'll check out the calculator as our last little bit as we wrap up the stream. I don't even know if we're going to push. We really didn't even modify the code. It was just kind of brief research in the meantime. You know, we did set this up. We should at least try interacting with our calculator refresh. If I press 4, yeah, no, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. 4 works. 2, 3, nothing. Okay, we'll set up a console log. Good. There's that. Don't mind me. C-select me, but Nightbot lives. No, Nightbot. Remember, we had to drop the ban hammer on Nightbot because he was he was taking over the city and terrorizing the citizens. Got really out of hand. You know, and we didn't read those last 2 articles. Let's do crack open Twitch. Hold on, wait a second. Use keyboards instead of mouse for the calculator. That seems effective. And that seems effective. We ended up doing this. JavaScript keyboard event listener calculator. We're going to take that and literally drop that into our code. Yep, that's right. For just above. And we can reference this in the future. Save. Flows out of those. We can gander at Can't Stop Farting's calculator as our final stuff for today because we added literally 2 lines of code and a comment. That really didn't change the front lines of this particular battle by anything substantial, so I think we can forego our usual commit and push to GitHub considering the lack of progress. So let's check out... Hey, Topher! Cool. C-select me, but I see him in the list. He's a ghost. Nightbot's still lingering in the back of the room? I had no idea. Topher, when are you gonna finish this calculator already? I'm writing out the storm. This is just... I'm tinkering with the calculator as we make it through the next couple days of holiday nonsense. So that's what's going on. This is... I can easily spin the CSS plate and the keyboard event fiasco over the next couple days and knock out a couple short streams. So we're biding time. Again, as I mentioned before earlier in the stream, this is the point of the space shuttle little module coming back into the Earth's atmosphere, burning up. Gravity is taken over. We're just coasting until the end of the year. I mean, we've got a couple things. There was the plan yesterday. We're gonna set up Project 9. We're gonna set up Project 10. We'll start to work on Project 9, but then I think we're gonna jump and start to prep to our pseudo Project 11 to start building out our master project site where we combined all projects in some form of a drop-down navigation type menu and whatnot, so everyone can see those projects 1 through 8. And then we'll also have like a beta tab or a work in progress tab where others can see projects 9 and 10 being built on the fly. So that's where we're headed. Greenberg, it's done. Done is a state of mind. That's true. Topher, it was done before he started then? Yes. This is the calculator from hell. It says buggy, but it's fixed. It says buggy. Oh, for your calculator code and whatnot? Oh, and that's right, and the C sharpiness of it all. So constant, this is fascinating. So is constant something that just everyone uses? No one's using variables anymore? Like, it's either constant or let? Can let be used in C? Or the C languages? Who knows? Because we do, and yes, biding time or wasting, both, combination. Well, the other thing I realized is that I was spending for the calculator regarding the JavaScript. It was like always an hour and 45 minutes of confusion with like 10 minutes of progress at the end. So I figured a couple 40 minutes, couple, 20, 30, 40-minute streams of just tinkering with CSS really isn't going to change anything in the scheme of BDX standards, considering our low production speed. Was there a fun... Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Good times, good times. We were back down. I wanted to check... stuff. Did you say you did the keyboard event listeners for your calculator? As ours... That's the last functional component of our calculator. And I know we've got some of it prepped. Again, I'm 90% sure that it will be event.key, and then mostly the same kind of stuff afterwards. Event.key. C++ doesn't look too different from JavaScript. We've got lets and constants and very similar syntax for just a lot of this. Like, it's very similar. Are all the C... Is it just C++ that's very similar to JavaScript or Java, or are all the C languages and Java itself similar to JavaScript? Anyways, can't start farting, yes. It takes input from STD in keyboard. I have a birthday hat for last stream. Let is specific to my calculator, because it allows you, the programmer... Oh, it allows you to program your own variables. Okay, alright. McGreenberg, yes, the celebration. Well, again, I think day 365 is just going to be another day of... Just another day of the stream. It's been too rocky, and that's not... The goal of this is not to celebrate day 365, but merely live to fight another day. There will be a day 366. Oh, cancel. The let keyword is not part of C++. Okay, alright. Because we have... Didn't we use let? We do have let in our code for our JavaScript. So those were the two biggest changes, pushes for this project. Don't mind me closing out of this as we begin to back out. Closing out of this stuff. Alright, we will continue tackling our keyboard stuff. Keyboard event listener, specifically, tomorrow. And I think we found a pretty good lead on how to tackle that with this info here. It seemed fairly promising compared to the other articles we rifled through earlier in the stream. But in the meantime, I think that is it for day 357. No need to update GitHub with our little bit of nonsense. In the meantime, let's go ahead and back out of this. First off, into OBS. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream. Today we had Can't Stop Farting, 99, C-Selectomy, Petey, McGreenberg, Topher, and I think that was basically everyone who shouted out in chat. Thank you for hanging out with us. Not a lot of progress. Again, we're just trying to survive until the end of the year and make it through the holidays. Post Christmas day 2. No, not day 2. Jeez, I can't even think in non-day increments. The 26th. We should have more productivity starting the 26th. So, that's all. Good times. Alright, in the meantime, stopping the stream. Day 357 comes to an end. However, the adventure continues tomorrow with day 358 of the year of streaming and learning code. In the meantime, are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it!